Hi everyone, this is the video for the violin Medieval Kings measures 1 to 25. So in this video, at the end, we're going to practice running the first big chunk from measure 1 all the way to 25. Before we do that, we're going to take some spots, work on them a little bit before we run the whole thing. So if you want to grab your instrument, grab your music, you can pause the video if you need to grab anything. And what I'd like us to do first is start at measure 3 where we have the melody for the first time. You want to really make sure your first finger is right where it's supposed to be, right on the tapes, especially because we start with we have two first fingers on D and it goes right to first finger on A. So you got to make sure when you move your first finger from the D to the A string that you don't move it like up or down. We just want it to go right over because it should sound, it should be right on the tape there. So let's practice starting at measure 3. Let's just do measures 3, 4, 5, and 6. So basically that melody part where it repeats itself. I'll do the first two, I'll do measures 3 and 4 first, just so you can hear the tempo that I want us to do it at. Okay. So here's our tempo. My turn first. That's the tempo I'd like us to do. So let's start at measure 3. We're going to play measures 3, 4, 5, and 6. And it is forte, so play nice and loud. Instruments up, first finger on D. That's our first note. All right, I'll count to 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. So make sure it's forte there. You have the melody, so really bring it out there. I want to skip ahead to measure 17. So the melody here is a little bit different, and we go down to 1 on the G string. So I want to hear, for right now, just measures 17, 18, and 19. Just those 3 measures. I'm going to play it first, and then we'll play it together. So I'm starting at 17, and it's 1 on D. So here's 17, 18, and 19. My turn first. Listen. Here we go. So measure 17 and 19, it's the same notes, the same rhythm. The only difference is at 17, the dynamic is piano, and at 19, it is forte. So let's play 17, 18, and 19 together. So instruments up. First finger on D. Get ready. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 1G. Forte. All right, let's talk about measure 20. Notice they want us to play 2 notes at the same time, so that's called a double stop when you play 2 notes at the same time. In this case, it's open A and open D at the same time. So you want to make sure your bow hits both of the strings. If you want to practice that a couple times, just trying to get the sweet spot, hitting the both strings at the same time so we hear both notes clearly. And then we add the notes right before that. So I'm going to play measure 20 by myself. We start with 3 on G or C. Sounds like this. I'll do one more time. All right, let's try measure 20 all together. Starting with 3 on G or C. 1, 2, ready, play. All right, let's start at 17. Play 17, 18, 19, 20, and then we'll go all the way back to the beginning and play from there to 25. All right, so measure 17. Here we go. Starting 1 on D or E. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. 3. All right, so we're going to start at the very beginning and we're going to play all the way to measure 25. That's kind of like the big chunk there. So what I want you to focus on when we're playing is 1, the dynamics. If it says piano, play it quiet. Forte, play it loud. Make sure your fingers are right where they're supposed to be, right on those tapes. The most important finger, and one that I sometimes hear getting out of tune a lot, is first finger, and that's an important, especially first finger on the D string, that E. Super important that it's really in tune. So that's what I want you to focus on: dynamics, making sure your fingers are right on the tape, and steady tempo. Here we go. From the very beginning, we start with 1 on A or B, and we start with piano. I want to hear a huge difference between the first 2 measures of piano and boom, measure 3, it's forte. It should just totally blast out of nowhere. So let's practice that. Measure 1 all the way to 25. Here we go. I'll count to 4. 1, 2, ready, play. Forte. Again. Piano. Forte. Rest, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, play, piano. D1. Seventeen. Forte. A1. Stay forte. And we'll stop there. Stay tuned for the next video where we'll work on 25 to the end. What I want you to focus on is playing steady tempo. Make sure like I said, your fingers are right where they're supposed to be, right on those tapes, and work on nice, clean string crossings. We want, especially like I measure 13, where we go from the D string to the A string. All right, and finally, just a reminder, always have some type of, either if you use a shoulder rest like mine or the sponge, you always have to have something there to hold it up. Always. That is the golden rule. Playing violin or viola, you always have to have something to support it, because then it takes away the pressure of holding up the instrument. I can hold it by itself, so then you just focus on the fingers. You don't have to worry about holding your instrument up. So that's my final little thing about that. Stay tuned for the next video. Bye-bye.